Thanks for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. President Trump is taking aim at the opioid epidemic, delivering a major speech today declaring it a public health crisis, freeing up government money and resources. The growing epidemic claimed 64,000 American lives last year. President Trump will advocate for a sustained national effort to end the addiction crisis. As a candidate, he pledged to make fighting addiction a top priority. Thousands of Puerto Rican churches continue to face an uphill battle weeks after Hurricane Maria struck the island. Pastor Tony Suarez with the National Hispanic Christian Leadership Conference just returned from a visit and said Maria damaged or destroyed at least 3,000 churches. Many are meeting in the streets or meeting like this church you're about to see with a mere tarp over their heads. But Suarez told CBN's Heather Sells that believers on the island are convicted that the Lord will provide for them in big ways.
Apostle Wanda Rolón, she pastors the largest church on the island. She said, well, we met with her. She said, those that leave, it's going to go okay for them. She said that they'll do well. But those of us that stay, we're going to make history because we're going to rebuild this island.
Suarez's organization is asking churches on the mainland to adopt a Puerto Rican church for the next year. CBN's national security correspondent Eric Gonzalez is on the island of Puerto Rico and shows us some of the destruction.
We are in the city of Manatí, about an hour north of San Juan, and this is an area where the eye of the storm made its way through, and you can see power lines are still down, and even power lines are being held up by trees. This entire area is without power, just like much of the island. More than 80%, some 3.5 million homes are still in the dark more than a month after Hurricane Maria. Puerto Ricans are desperate, some turning to Facebook to get the word out that they need help. Such was the case of this man who said he and his community needed food and water. He wrote in the street SOS. Agua, meaning water, and comida, meaning food. Members of San Juan's Connected Life Church answered his cry for help.
So we're housing missionaries from Chicago. They came over here to help our people from Puerto Rico, give them water, food. And one of the missionaries' wives saw Facebook Live, and we made it our mission to find them.
But getting to the man about 90 minutes south of the city proved difficult. Snapped power lines and debris still litter the streets.
We knew that the government haven't reached them. So it's the work of the church to help everyone in need.
In the end, church members reached him with groceries and water. Church members added to his distress call, Llegamos, which means we made it. While churches are being the hands and feet of Jesus, some places of worship need help themselves.
It used to have a second story, so the second story just fell down. The offices just fell down.
Pastor Font leads Fountain of Living Water Church, one of the island's largest. You can tell that there has been water inside here. Officials tell me that it had about 7 feet of water and many of the tiles were just ripped off the roof. The entire second floor came down. This church seats about 5,000 members. In all, about 10,000 members here in Puerto Rico attend this church. What can we as Christians do for you?
Well, just pray. First of all, pray. Do not forget about Puerto Rico. This is going to take our island itself. It's going to take a little bit longer than a couple of months.
Pastor Font tells CBN News it will take time, but he plans to rebuild. He and others are just thankful that a $300 million electrical contract was recently signed by Whitefish Energy to get power back onto the island. The Puerto Ricans say once the power comes back, life will get back to normal quicker. Eric Rosales, CBN News.
Political observers say the narrative on Russia has flipped in Washington, giving Democrats a black eye and Republicans some much-needed momentum as they promote tax reform. The president took full advantage of the changing dynamics Wednesday. Heather Sells is on the story.
Shockwaves are rolling in Washington over news that the Clinton campaign and Democratic Party funded research for the infamous dossier. Its allegations about Donald Trump's ties to Russia dominated much of the 2016 campaign, and now the president is pouncing on the news that Democrats paid for it.
Hillary Clinton always denied it. The Democrats always denied it. And now only because it's going to come out in a court case, they said, yes, they did it, they admitted it, and they're embarrassed by it.
The Washington Post broke the story, and other reporters, including 2 from the New York Times, are now saying that Clinton campaign officials lied to them about the campaign's role in funding it. The dossier has been part of the Russia investigation into last year's presidential campaign, and this latest news could prove to be a turning point. Democrats have tried to brush it aside just as the White House ramps up its campaign to pass tax reform. The president says Congress is moving ahead quickly.
They're passing this bill along very rapidly. We have to get tax cuts and just pass it along.
What's not clear, just where Republicans will land on what to do with the idea of eliminating the deduction for state and local taxes, and on the tax-free limit that people can contribute to their 401k retirement accounts. Top Republicans writing the plan have said there could be limits. The president has tweeted no changes, but Wednesday he hinted otherwise.
Well, maybe it is, and maybe we'll use it as negotiating, but I trust me.
Watch for a critical House budget vote today. It could set the rules for the tax bill and clear the way for Republicans to approve it without any votes from Democrats. Heather Sells, CBN News.
Vice President Mike Pence delivered the keynote address at the In Defense of Christians annual summit in Washington Wednesday. He said the Trump administration is working tirelessly to help the persecuted church and said he still has faith that God is with his people. Bipartisan legislation approved Wednesday aims at blocking the cash flow to Hezbollah militants. The bill also sanctions the group for using civilians as human shields. This comes as Washington is increasing pressure on Iran, Hezbollah's main backer. The House is scheduled to vote Thursday on legislation that would hit Iran with new sanctions for its pursuit of long-range ballistic missiles without derailing the 2015 International Nuclear Accord. There's a battle between the LGBT community and faith-based adoption providers across the country, but see how Texas' new adoption law is a big win for religious liberty. The story's coming up next. A new law in Texas protects faith-based adoption agencies if they choose not to place children with gay couples. Charlene Aaron visited one agency where she learned why the legislation is considered a victory, especially for the children.
When it comes to adoption, putting children with same-sex couples often leads to a fierce debate. This Michigan couple is suing the state after 2 Christian adoption agencies turned them away because they're gay.
I'm very lucky. I have very supportive friends and family, and I work in a very supportive environment, so I really have not faced any discrimination over being gay. So calling the agencies and being told that it's their policy not to place kids with same-sex families was pretty hard to hear.
In order to prevent those lawsuits in Texas, lawmakers passed legislation that would protect Christian adoption agencies for refusing gay couples.
Right now in Texas, there are more than 30,000 kids who need to know the love of a family.
Faith-based operations make up 25% of the child-placing agencies in Texas.
Have you considered becoming a foster parent?
Over the past few years, many stopped taking cases from the state's foster care system, fearing their biblical view of marriage would clash with the LGBT community.
Your religious convictions should not deny you the opportunity to care for children.
Buckner International is an evangelical charity that serves more than 1,000 Texas children each year.
There are just not enough places for them. And here in Texas, we've had children who've had to sleep on the floor of offices because there was nowhere to take them that night or the next night.
The Freedom to Serve Children Act protects groups like Buckner if they refuse to place children with gay couples.
We believe that God's design for a family is a man and a woman. That's our biblically held belief. And so based on that, and with a number of other faith-based providers here in Texas, and obviously with the support of the legislature and the governor of Texas, we have been able to secure this extra layer of protection for us to be able to really just live out our biblical convictions.
The law has drawn fierce backlash from the LGBT community, and the state of California has even banned state-sponsored travel to Texas, citing discrimination based on sexual orientation.
The discrimination claim has been expanded to include 7 other states.
To travel to these states at state expense would mean that we would be using taxpayer dollars to support these states, and we think it would be an offense to all those individuals in America who feel the scourge of discrimination.
It affects the children because there's so many other couples like us out there who want to provide a home for these kids and are being told no because of this.
Supporters of the Texas law disagree.
Because at the end of the day, what we're trying to get is more homes. And I don't think this prevents more homes from coming from any sector of society from coming to the table.
Christians who feel their beliefs on marriage and family are increasingly attacked see that as a major victory for religious freedom. Collins maintains it's also about saving lives.
For us, what it comes down to is, what about the children? Do they win? Is this a win for the children, not for any group or organization? It really is about the kids.
He's just thankful the law allows them to continue helping the state's most vulnerable.
We believe this is a very inclusive law. We're not saying in any way that some people are bad and shouldn't be parents. We're just saying this is what we believe. These are sincerely held religious convictions that we have, and we want to continue to be able to do what we've done for 138 years now.
Charlene Aaron, CBN News, Dallas.
A big heart and a big voice. Up next, we're sitting down with worship leader Kari Jobe. Kari Jobe is an award-winning Christian artist. She recently took home a Dove Award for her latest project, The Garden. I sat down with her to hear the story behind the album in this week's Studio 5 interview.
I had all but given up, desperate for a sign from love, something good, something kind, bringing peace to every corner of my mind.
So, fresh from the Dove Awards, you got to be host this year.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was fun. I co-hosted with Tasha Cobbs, and it was fun. They make it really easy. I think they're used to artists coming right from the road, you know, so they kind of just make it.
Yeah, because you're in the middle of the garden, too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sweet. It was really fun. We got to be silly, so we got to be ourselves, but also, you know, do the serious stuff like they need you to do and all that stuff.
So nominated, and you get to take home an award as well.
Yeah, I did. My album packaging, so my album cover and everything, won a Dove Award. That's the first time to win a Dove for the packaging, so it was kind of a cool thing for me.
Your album is The Garden, and this is the Garden Tour. Tell me the story behind this whole garden experience people are having with you and this music.
I can see the
So right when I was starting to write for this album, I didn't know yet where it was going or the theme or anything, but I was pregnant with Canyon, my 1.5-year-old, and my sister was pregnant at the same time. And right at the end of her pregnancy, she gave birth to a sleeping angel who was already with Jesus before we got to meet her. And so as you can imagine, it just shot us and like our entire family into this season of just extreme disappointment, heartache, trauma. I mean, it was a traumatic experience.
And you're still carrying your son at the time.
And I was still pregnant, exactly. So I had an incredible mentor in my life just remind me that I couldn't stay there. She's like, you have to grieve this, of course, but I'm not gonna let you stay here and shut down. Because I just was feeling really disappointed of like just navigating through, God, why didn't you answer our prayers? And why didn't you do a miracle? But honestly, he's done the most incredible miracle in reaching my sister's heart and just things my sister talks about now from that experience. So I wrote the Garden song for her. It was just a prayer for her, just praying that faith would rise up in her heart again. Her daughter that's in heaven is named James Ivy. So Ivy in the song, and Ivy began to be something that just was like speaking life. I even have a sweet little tattoo in her, you know, in her honor. And so just like, God's just used Ivy a lot for our family to just remind us that he's in control. He's not forsaken us. We're not forgotten. But sometimes we just experience difficult stuff on this side of heaven. but God takes it and turns it into something beautiful every time. It takes a season, you know, sometimes a couple, but.
Was this a difficult album then to do in light of what you were going through? Was it the hard, because this is album number 5 for you?
It is, yeah. It was hard in the writing process because, you know, when you go through something difficult, I think sometimes we just want to process it by ourselves, you know, and not have to talk about it yet. You know, you're like, I don't know where I am yet with this. Like, I'm still healing, God's still doing something in my heart. But I had to be writing. It was, you know, there's just deadlines and people waiting for what I needed to be turning in. And so I just was like, I'm just gonna, every writing session I had, I was like, this is where I am, this is what God's doing, let's just write from this. So in that regard, it was sweet because I just was able to be myself. I wasn't trying to conjure up feeling a different way. We just really dove into what was happening. But I realized that people needed that, you know? And it's been so incredible. The people that are even coming to these nights on this tour, there's so many stories that they're bringing up in the Q&A or in different things, like just saying, this album, I needed this because we lost a child too, or I've walked through things with God that I haven't understood before and you have helped me to just worship through it, or, you know, just have moments of honesty with God instead of hiding it, you know. He knows what we're thinking anyway, so. It was a hard album to write, but it also brought a lot of healing at the same time.
I can see that. So. I'm married with 2 children, but we lost 2 children in between. So I certainly identify, and as a husband, I always said that was the worst possible time for me as a man trying to minister to a wife who I couldn't explain. Exactly.
It is hard, and what was helpful with this project too is when you're going through something difficult, Christianese does not help. You know, even somebody saying, God's gonna use this, I'm like, that doesn't comfort, you know, but what does comfort is crying with them or just saying, I'm just here with you. But on the flip side, now I know why people were saying God's gonna use this and God's gonna return this for beauty, because he does, you know? And so it just takes sometimes just like encouraging people. And so I think music does that. It's disarming, but it can be in your face. And I think this album just has an anointing behind it for breakthrough in that area, because we really encountered God's presence really helping us in this season. I think it's doing that now for other people.
Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take him at his word, just to rest upon his promise, and to know the same, the Lord.
Takes you to a whole new place. You can find Kari Jobe's album, The Garden, wherever music is sold. Well, worship music fans may want to listen closely to the Blade Runner 2049 soundtrack.
I'm almost human.
Worship artist Lauren Daigle contributed the song Almost Human on this sci-fi epic. During last week's Dove Awards, Daigle said she contributed to the film because she couldn't escape the idea that someone in the theater might not know God, someone who may be in need of his hope, his love, and the things that Christians have to offer the world. Remember, for the latest and uplifting entertainment news, be sure to check out Studio 5. You can do that at cbnnews.com/Studio 5. And stay with us. There's much more CBN NewsWatch straight ahead. Well, it's Thursday, and in case you did not know, we have a live Facebook show called The Prayer Link, and it airs today, beginning at 1:30 p.m. Eastern on CBN News' Facebook page. This week's the guest will be a former Satanist, actually, who was saved, and now he is sharing the gospel. John Ramirez will talk about the dangers of Christians celebrating Halloween. Get this, he even says that harvest festivals that many of us celebrate are just as bad. It is a show you won't want to miss, so be sure to visit CBN News' Facebook page today at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time so you can check it out. Well, right now it is time for your Thursday Thankful, and I hope you'll join me in this prayer of gratitude. Father, thank you for the knowledge that all things are possible with you. That includes what many may see as impossible. You can do all things. I embrace that gift and happily say thank you. and amen. With that word, be sure to make this a thankful Thursday and a week filled with gratitude in all the days that do still remain. Well, that is a wrap for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Thank you so much for your company. Remember that you can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about always at cbnnews.com. And we would love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that, of course, by reaching out to us. Tell us what you think about the stories you've seen by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, we're available anytime on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram. We would love to hear from you. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Make this a thankful Thursday. We'll see you right back here, same time tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone, and God bless.